Please welcome Brenton Jordan, who we met before, as well as Carol Palmer and Erika Carter.
We're not going to do this like a performance, all right? As we said in the Q&A section, a ring shout is not a sit back and spectate. So y'all must participate. So y'all ain't going to sit back and watch us like we bumps on the low. Okay? Y'all going to have to clap, y'all got to sing too. Y'all guys it? Yes. All right. Moses, Moses, lay your rod in that Red Sea. Lay your rod, let the children cross in that Red Sea. And Pharaoh hope got lost. Oh, they shout when you hope got because you had that stick over yonder, so you're going to be a stick man today.
Want that stick?
Yeah, no, you going to beat him. Come on, yeah. All right, you guys remember where I told you about the song Legend Soul Sweet, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there was some things I would touch, and I do want to touch on those. So firstly, I want you to understand that Gullah Geechee culture is not a monolith. Most people, when they think of Gullah Geechee culture, they think we all going to sound the same, the dialects are going to be exactly the same, and that is not the case. As you pointed out, there are so many different influences based on the different African tribal groups that were brought to specific areas, certain people coming from specific Caribbean islands. In our family, we actually came from Haiti, Jamaica, and the Bahamas before even getting to the US. So, with that being stated and with that being said, the dialect of Gullah is going to vary, and then each community is based off of a specific family. So depending on where the ancestors of that family come from will give a distinction to that specific dialect of Gullah that they will speak. So, and it's also one of the ways in which, as Gullah Geechee people, we're able to know where somebody is from based on how they talk. So, I'm going to try to do the story of, no, you want to sit down.
Yeah.
You're going to come and sit down. You're going to be as close to a performance as possible. But I'm going to try my best to do the story of Legend Soul Sweet in the way that Lawrence McIver would do it. Come here, I want you to have me to come sing this your song with the legend with the soul feet. Soul in our roots farm, soul sweet.
So sweet.
We're going to try that again. Come here, I want you to have me to come here to sing this song with the legend with the soul feet.
So sweet.
And I say that soul sweet, it's soul feet.
So sweet.
See, tell me, let's say that now. Hear that kitchen. Everything I think y'all going to come, I'm not going to do it. I don't like that. want you come here to sing this song. We want you to shout like Annie Pearl, and we want you to shout like Grandma Nita. You know what I say? Grandma Nita. You stay on time with that stick there. All right. Ah, that legend.
So sweet.
Oh, that legend.
So sweet.
Make me happy.
So sweet.
Can't keep it to myself. I want to tell somebody else. I love that legend. Oh, that legend. Ah, that legend. Yeah, make me happy. Can't keep it to myself. I got to tell somebody else. I rock my legend. I rock that legend. I take that legend. Yeah, oh, that legend. I can run on the morning. Keep them crying by a thing. I rock that legend. Oh, that legend. Yeah, ah, that legend. I rock that legend. I rock that legend. I talk that legend. I shake my legend. I shout that legend. Oh, that legend. Yeah, can you tell? I got to tell somebody else. I got that legend. Ah, that legend. All right. Honestly, we did that a lot slower than it was supposed to go. That's one of those lively shout songs. That's what's considered one of the party songs. That's one of those shout songs that if you really wanted to see them old people show off, that one, yeah, good job, good job. What we'll do now is we'll ask for audience participation. So, anybody want to come up and shout? Yeah, right, probably. Good two, Shri. Good two, Shri. Come on. All right. Okay, this shout song, as Eric spoke about within the community of St. Helena's Island, they sing Adam in the Garden. Their version of Adam in the Garden is a little bit slower than ours. Our version is a lot faster, up-paced, and dare I even say, from my research, it was originally Adam in the Garden pinning up leaves. But due to the rhythm and action, it was later switched to picking up leaves because it had more rhythm and action. And after the McIntosh County Shouters started performing it, the lyrics was actually changed to picking up leaves instead of pinning up leaves, which were the original lyrics. So, we're going to do that song. Oh, where is Adam? Oh, Adam in the garden, picking up leaves. Go, call Adam, picking up leaves. Backward, boy. One more dance. Whoa, Adam. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, Adam. Gave y'all a little taste of the show tonight. So, do we have any questions? For the most part, we kind of gave you a little taste of things. So does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I was seeing the African pantomime, pure and simple.
Very much
And this
so.
is as much of the African pantomime as anything out of the Congo or anything out of West Africa. That's exactly what we were seeing, this African pantomime.
Yes,
You know, in the form of this ring shout. That's exactly what we're watching.
yes, ma'am.
It's magnificent.
Thank you.
Small question, because this is my first experience interacting with anything related to. This is my first experience interacting with anything related to Gullah Geechee or ring shout within this context at all. You know what I mean? Of this depth of participation. So this question I've been having since we started: the significance of the direction that we're moving in, and how it's so like ever present.
With the counterclockwise motion, as it was passed down to me, that's the way that our ancestors did it, as a way of remembrance. As I said, it's just the way that our ancestors did it as a way of remembrance. Because in that ring, you are in so many ways living life full circle, and you're doing a connection between the past and the present, and a connection between the present and the future, as well as a connection between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Because in that circle, especially when we're home, because there's certain things that we cannot bring to stage, and it's just because stage doesn't allow it. But the sense of the connecting, when we're doing it back home, you can feel, I don't know about anybody else, but you can feel those other shouters with us. We can actually feel our grandmother, our great grandmother right there next to us. Me and her are first cousins. That is my second cousin. That's Freddie's daughter. Our grandmothers were sisters. We tend to do a large spiel as to how each member of the McIntosh County Shouters are related, because the entire group is family, related by blood.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
I just want to add that all of those concepts that you've just mentioned are encapsulated in the Bakongo cosmogram that Dr. Crawford showed us.
Exactly.
And so, you know, if Bob Thompson were here,
Yes.
I mean, he would be clearly arguing that there is a connection between Bakongo and the cosmogram and the counterclockwise movement.
Very
You
much
know,
so.
it's all encapsulated in that.
The thing about it is that counterclockwise motion is done all throughout Africa, from west all the way to east down to south. And when the shouters first began actually, quote unquote, having a script to their performances, they would actually get Africans from all over saying, you have to take that out of your script, saying West Africa, because it would be a case of, we do something like that back home. And it not only that, but it also coincides with our own family oral history of they were snatching Africans from all over the place. And most people don't talk about the Arabic slave trade, because we don't know if the Arabs and the Europeans were trading slaves as well. So that could possibly add an even heavier layer to an unspoken story that's not often spoken about. So the counterclockwise ring, you'll see it in multiple places. The same shuffling movement, you'll see it done by multiple ethnic groups, from the Igbo to the Congo to the Mende to Fon, the Fon, the Yoruba. There's even within the in Matanzas, Cuba, when they sing the Oro for Yemoja, they will actually, the older ones, you have to look at older ones to see it, but when they start singing the oro and the drums start speeding up, they will actually hit that same shuffle for exactly for candomblé. They'll hit that same shuffle for in that moment, so you'll see it in multiple areas. And it was, I always like to share this experience because that was like one of the best moments of my life. But we were performing in Washington D.C. for the opening of the museum. Our family, we have family in DC. So everybody else had left me at the site and went to hang out with our family. I decided I wanted to stay because they had an African drumming circle. So I danced with them. And then they had another group from Colombia and they were doing a dance that I recognized. And I was like, I know this because my teacher was Panamanian. So I was like, oh, I can do this. And so I got out there and literally started shouting at a woman, how do you know this dance? My family does something like this. And she literally pulled me on stage to dance with them. And all I did was just do the shout, and that was it. So for me, and I was thinking to myself, boy, if my family was here, we could have cut up. but that to have that connection and to feel that connection with a group of with people that did not speak English, and to see this man, get excited to see this dance because they did not bring dancers. It was just this older man performing this style of music. And I got up and I just started doing it. And the woman pulled me on stage, and to see the the joy on this man's face to realize that his culture, he might have thought that I was Colombian, probably, but for him to see that his culture was, acknowledged and he hadn't seen it outside of his community, and for somebody, a Black American, to be doing it and to do it flawlessly, it was one of my favorite and best moments ever.
I wanted to share this Jean-Michel Basquiat quote: "Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time." And speak to your question about why. Just one way of interpreting it is everybody gets to do their thing on top of the same cycle. So if you're changing that all the time, the recognition of something that we share across time and space, so it's how we've decorated time for centuries. You're a part of something that's way bigger than the moment.
It's amazing how motor muscle memory sticks with people across generation after generation after generation after tens of generations. That experience you had, I had in East Africa. I'm at the University of Nairobi. I attended for a year many, many, many years ago. I took a dance class, and I was the only non-white American in the group that went with the American Institute for Foreign Studies. We took this dance class, and I'd been dancing a while. And so I kind of dropped back in the line and let other people lead. But as I went across the floor, I noticed the drummers and the lead dancers pointing at me and questioning each other and pointing. And I heard the lead drummer say, "She got the ancestors in her." And because they didn't know that I was a Black American. I looked more like the people they associate with being Arabs or somebody from the Seychelles. So, they don't get a lot of Americans there like you do in West Africa, especially Black Americans, until I started to dance. Then once I started to dance, the lead dancer said to me, "We want to talk to you when this class is over." And I said, "I figured you would." Yeah, and so
Yeah.
they asked me, they said, "Why do you seem to know our dances before we even teach them to you?" And I said, "Well, it's a long story. I have ancestors from the other side of the continent." That's when the lead drummer yelled, I told you she has the ancestors in her."
Yeah.
They recognize, and everywhere I've gone, Jamaica, doesn't matter, Cuba, wherever I've gone in the world where there were people of African heritage, once I start to move, it's on.
It's
Whole different
literally the
ball
same
game.
thing
I
for
just
me.
start to move.
It's literally the same thing for me. I started doing African dance in 2001 my freshman year in high school. My grandmother always like laughs and jokes that she had to beg me to go because technically she did. There was an African dancer, no, Ralph Lemon, a choreographer from here actually. Um, he was doing research on the ring shout and Gullah Geechee culture because he found out that his mother was from South Carolina. So he did research on Sapelo Island when Miss Cornelia Bailey, the matriarch of the island, was still alive. And so my grandmother, with it being the Christmas holiday, my grandmother was like, I don't feel like going. I'm tired. Because she's just like, when the ring shout happens, the shouters are usually the one that have to put everything together for watch night. So my grandmother's like, I'm tired. Brenton, everything that I know, you know, and you've been doing a little bit more research, go. And I was like, I don't want to because I don't know anybody. So she bribed me and she sent me with my two cousins and we went. And as soon as the drummer started playing, I took to it like a fish to water. And to this day, they can account if I hear drums, I'm going to move. Yeah. So that muscle memory, if you will, that ancestral memory, it's a very real thing. Yeah. Yeah. And not at all. Any other questions? Questions, comments, and concerns? I,
I think when we were listening and watching, we all wanted to dance. It's very hard to keep still. The most miserable thing is being at a performance on a stage so small, not being able to move, and hearing that stick and the hand clapping. It is very difficult not to move.
to get to statement on to piggyback on that. If you really want to see something funny, to actually go by what she's speaking of, go on YouTube and look up our E-Town performance. The stage was too small because there was so many instruments that were on the stage. And we had just got done finished doing the University of Colorado that same night. And we sold out the venue. So they invited us over to do an impromptu performance. Little did we know, there was no stage space. So to watch them have to sing those songs and not move is the most hilarious thing to see, because as you can see in the performance, that performance took on a life of its own, because we did sing Blow Gabriel, which is a song at that time I had only sung one time before that. So for me to actually find my voice, and you literally will see me finding my voice in that performance, but also to watch them try to try to sing the song and stand still, and they're wanting to move. It gets to the point to where they start doing the pantomiming movements because they can't do anything else. And you can see, if you know what you're looking for, you can see it on all their faces as to how difficult it is watching, like for them to be singing these songs and not be able to move. It is the most funniest things ever. I did. I sure did.
Give them a big round of applause. Carol, Brenton, and Erika, thank you. And Yatande. Please clap once more for all of the wonderful panelists that have spoken and sung to today. Please don't forget, I can't imagine that you will, that there's a 7:30 concert with the full 10-member McIntosh County Shouters at Miller Theater. If you did not register, please go anyway. You will find a seat. And in closing, I simply want to offer a few heartfelt thanks. I'm not sure if Yolanda came back yet. She's going to soon. But Yolanda McKenzie, you've seen her. She's helped you no matter what. She's the program coordinator of the Center for Jazz Studies and the true heart and soul of the center. So I'm going to clap. A big one. Thanks to Bob O'Mealy, the founding director of the Center for Jazz Studies, for his inspiration. Thank you to the Center of Ethnomusicology, which is not here but co-sponsored this event with us. I'll also thank the faculty of the Center for Jazz Studies, Brent Hayes Edwards, Farah Jasmine Griffin, Chris Washburn, and George E. Lewis for their support and leadership. Please join us for the concert and check out jazz.columbia.edu for our upcoming events, including April 14th, where we'll have a joint talk between Ben Ratliff and Martin Daughtry, which should be quite special, entitled Dead Air, where they're going to be guided by the provocative question, what does it mean to haunt and be haunted by the charismatic lofts and jazz clubs of the past? Thank you again for being here.